Here we have the current stock market update for AMC Entertainment Holdings, stock ticker AMC. Before we begin, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comment section below so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we can see overall that today was another negative day. This is not totally surprising. If you go back to the prior video that I posted for this stock, this was largely the expectation, and there were a few different reasons why this was likely to be the case. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over some of these important price zones, sort of readjust the outlook a little bit here, and then discuss some possible strategies here for this stock so that traders can execute some positive, profitable positioning here going forward. So as we can see here, overall the new price low that was seen at 471 has now been broken once again. Overall, this is not a huge surprise. Similar activities, price action was going on with GameStop today. There was a lot of optimism about GameStop, but anybody that saw my prior video on GameStop, we did see several reasons there to believe that rally was likely to be short-lived. I understand these are two completely different stocks. Many people are invested in both. Some are only invested in one or the other. But in many cases, these stocks do tend to trade in sympathy with one another. So in other words, good news for GameStop is often good news for AMC and vice versa. But that also applies to the negative direction as well, and we can see that is the case here. So what was really developing in the GameStop price chart was a bearish divergence. We were seeing a fairly significant price move higher on a short-term basis, but it was very easy to get caught up in the hype there and to believe that share prices were just going to continue moving higher. But there were plenty of signals on that price chart which suggested that was not likely to be the case. Unfortunately, that is the scenario that played out here. It doesn't make me feel good to say that, to be right about the downside direction. I understand that people are losing a lot of money on these stocks and wasting a lot of time on these stocks. But this is specifically the reason that I did open the member section of the trading platform so that I could, offer some new stock ideas, some new trading ideas for people that are in these types of positions. This is specifically what it's designed for: people that do not have a huge amount of experience trading the market, people that might be caught in bad stock positions because there was just so much hype that was seen on social media. It's very easy to get sucked into it. I can completely understand, getting excited about some of these things when it seems that so many people are excited about it. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with not acknowledging that the fact that a position is working in the wrong direction, and then not believing that things are likely to turn around if that's not the most probable outcome. So what we have to look at here currently is this sequence of lower lows that has started to develop. Specifically, this break below 479, I pointed that out previously because I thought that was going to be a very significant move lower. Because overall, the suggestion there was that if we do break below $4.79, it's going to be very difficult for the stock to then start to overcome the $5 level once again. In addition to that, you have a very important zone of resistance that comes in right around $5.20, which is likely to work as a very strong barrier for the stock, even in the event that we were able to overcome this $5 mark. So with all that in mind, the movement here is clear. It's very much in one direction. I will say that, for the most part, the stock market did have a very bad day today. There were many stocks that traded lower. I suggest people take a look at my NVIDIA video. That stock completely fell through the floor and brought down most of the market with it. In many cases, these short squeeze stocks will not follow that same trend because the positioning for that stock, for that type of stock, is based on scenarios or situations that are very different from the health of the broader market and things like that. I mean, they can obviously even work in the opposite direction, but that was not the case here today. As we can see, AMC closed right at the lows of $3.63, and then in addition to that, it's a little bit hard to focus in exactly on this area because it sort of runs into the trading volume here, which is what I want to point out. Okay, so the trading volume activity here is what I want to point out here. So as we're seeing share prices move lower, we're also seeing spikes higher in the negative trading volume. So what that tells you is that this negative activity in share prices is being confirmed by the trading volumes themselves. In addition to that, we can also see, a lot of negative momentum here that's showing up in the relative strength index on this time frame. Overall, this longer term trajectory here is still showing negative momentum, and it has been in place for a very long time. It's much harder to overcome any technical signal that's longer term in nature. What we're seeing here to the downside on the shorter term time frames here would have been, sort of an emerging possibility at upward trend momentum. But as we can see here, this broke relatively recently, and that new uptrend has completed itself and run its course. So essentially, what this means is that any fuel, that you would have expected from that momentum has now completed itself. This really occurred from the move from roughly 441 to roughly 520. That would have been roughly where the this upward trend momentum started to exhaust itself and complete itself. So this is not upward momentum that can be that can be expected to continue or to continue supporting share prices in an upward direction. So, this is an unfortunate chart here. I mean, there's not a lot here to be positive about. And I understand that people probably think that I'm just trying to be negative. Some people even think that I'm being paid off by a hedge fund, which is totally ridiculous. I don't have a position in this stock in either direction. What I'm the only reason I'm here looking at these stocks is because I don't think that there is really an unbiased view of them. If the share price is moving in the upward direction, I would have no problem reporting that and saying that. I don't have a position on this stock either way. So this is probably the most objective viewpoint that's going to be seen anywhere on this platform, because I don't have a short position and I don't have a long position. So, as things currently stand, the current outlook here is definitely not positive. It's just not positive. The outlook for GameStop as well is still showing a bearish divergence on this same time frame on the 30-minute price chart. So, that recent rally was at major risk. And then in addition to that, what we're going to be seeing here very soon is an earnings report from GameStop. The last earnings report from GameStop was nothing special. There was nothing to be excited about in that report, and the current expectation is for more of the same from GameStop in the next earnings report. So that does create a possibility for an upside surprise. If you've got weak expectations, it is easier to overcome a weak expectation. You can look at the NVIDIA chart to confirm that they had a high expectation, they beat it, and it still wasn't good enough. But if you're talking about GameStop, you could say that a weaker expectation would be easier to beat. But if those expectations are ultimately correct, what you're looking at there in that stock is more downside, and ultimately that is going to drag down AMC as well. Here's the current market outlook for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.